You are running out of time right now. And the strange part, someone else is spending it for you. Think about your last 7 days. The alarm you didn't really choose to set. The job you can't quite remember deciding to want. The opinions you defend at dinner that were never actually yours. There is a name for this condition. 2,000 years ago, a dying man in Rome uncovered the exact trap you are standing in at this very moment. And before they killed him, he left behind 3 steps to escape it. But to understand those steps, you first have to understand the night he almost lost everything and realized he had never truly owned a single day of his own life. Rome, the richest man in the empire, is standing alone in a marble hall that echoes like a tomb. His name is Lucius Annaeus Seneca. He has everything a human being is supposed to want. Gardens that stretch past the horizon, more gold than some kingdoms. The ear of the most powerful man alive, the Emperor Nero. When Seneca speaks, the empire listens. And yet, on this night, he cannot sleep, because a quiet, terrible question has begun to follow him through those endless halls. Whose life is this? He advises the emperor from dawn. He manages fortunes he will never spend. He attends banquets he does not enjoy, laughs at jokes he does not find funny, flatters men he does not respect. Every hour of his day is claimed by someone else before he even opens his eyes. He is the most successful man in Rome, and he is a stranger to himself. Here is the detail history almost forgets. Years earlier, this same man had been ripped from everything and exiled to a barren island called Corsica. 8 years alone with the wind and the rocks. He thought that was the punishment. But standing now in the middle of all his wealth, he begins to suspect something far worse. That the exile was not the island. The exile is this: a life so crowded with other people's demands that there is no room left for the man who is supposedly living it. And that was the moment a single dangerous idea began to form in his mind. The idea was this: we are careful, obsessively careful with the wrong things. Seneca watched the men of Rome guard their money like wolves. Lock it, count it, panic at the smallest loss. But their time, their one and only irreplaceable resource, they threw it away to anyone who asked. A friend wanted an afternoon, a patron wanted a favor, the state wanted a decade, and they handed it over again and again, as if the supply were endless. He would later write one brutal line that still cuts through 20 centuries. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Life is long enough, he said, if you know how to use it. Now stop, because this is where it stops being about a dead Roman and starts being about you. Think about the last time you gave away an entire evening to something you did not choose, scrolling a feed you do not remember opening, saying yes to a plan you dreaded, rehearsing an argument with someone who was not even in the room. You would never let a stranger walk up and take $50 from your pocket, but you let the world take your Tuesday, your month, your best years, and you barely flinch. Seneca saw people reach old age with nothing to show for their long lives but their age. They had existed for 70 years, but how many of those years had they actually lived? How many were truly theirs? He was circling something enormous now, a framework, a way out, but the first step would demand something almost no one is willing to do. The first step is this: audit your time as if it were your money, because it is worth infinitely more. Seneca told his readers to look back honestly and account for their days. Where did the hours go? Who took them? What did you actually get in return? Most people have never once done this. They will study a bank statement for an hour, but never audit a single year of their own life. And when you finally do it, the result is disturbing. You realize how much of you has been spent on autopilot, on performing, on living out a script handed to you by parents, by employers, by an algorithm designed to keep you exactly where you are. Which brings us to the second step, and the harder one: separate what is yours from what is not. This was the beating heart of Stoic philosophy. Some things are in your control, your choices, your values, your attention, your response, and some things are not. Other people's approval, their expectations, the roles they cast you in. The trap that keeps you living someone else's life is simple. You have confused the two. You treat other people's opinions as if they were your own soul. You chase a version of success you never actually paused to want because everyone around you seemed to want it, so you assumed you must too. Seneca called this living according to the crowd, and he warned that the crowd is the most dangerous companion of all because it feels safe. It feels normal. It feels like belonging. Meanwhile, it quietly writes over everything that makes you you. Now, here is where it gets strange, because modern science has walked right up to the same discovery. Neuroscientists have found that the brain has a kind of idle setting, a network that switches on when you are not consciously choosing your thoughts. On this default setting, the mind loops through the same worries, the same comparisons, the same borrowed goals over and over. Left unchecked, you spend most of your waking life there, on autopilot, running someone else's program. The researchers gave it a technical name. Seneca just called it not being present to your own life, 2,000 years apart. The same warning: you are asleep at the wheel of the only life you will ever get. But Seneca did not stop at the diagnosis. He built the third step, and the third step is the one that changes everything. The third step is this: live now, because you are already spending the currency you keep saving. Seneca noticed that people are forever postponing their real life. They say, when I retire, when the kids are grown, when I hit the number, when things calm down. They treat the present as a rough draft and the future as the real thing. But the future never arrives. It only ever turns into another present that you also refuse to live in. So he made a demand that sounds almost violent in its clarity. Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Not a life that starts someday, a life that is happening right now, in this hour, whether you show up for it or not. So let us answer the question we open with: whose life are you living? Here is the honest answer: you are living the life of whoever you have handed your attention to. If you gave your days to the algorithm, you are living its life. If you gave them to a boss who will replace you in a week, you are living his. If you gave them to the fear of what people might think, you are living for a jury that is not even paying attention to you. And here is the practice you can do tonight. It takes 10 minutes. First, write down every meaningful chunk of your day and answer one question for each. Did I choose this, or did I inherit it? That is the audit. Second, next to each one, mark it, mine or theirs. That is the separation. And third, choose one single thing tomorrow that is fully, unmistakably yours. 1 hour, one decision, one honest word you have been swallowing, and do it on purpose, awake, as its author. That is you beginning to live. Do that for 1 week, and something quietly radical happens. You stop feeling like an actor reading lines. You start feeling like the person the lines were supposed to belong to. So here is the truth Seneca died knowing: you were never short on time. You were short on ownership. The tragedy is not that life is brief. The tragedy is reaching the end and realizing you were a guest in your own days. But there is still time to change that, because the only life you can reclaim is the one happening right now, in this breath, while you are still the one holding the pen. Start with tomorrow. Choose 1 hour that is unmistakably yours. And if this stirred something you have been ignoring for too long, stay with us, because the ancients already mapped the way out, and we are walking it one truth at a time. Subscribe and take the next step with us.